You have never trusted wood. Your father built houses from stone, dressed stone, fitted stone, stone that did not move under your feet when the wind changed. You grew up knowing the weight of a wall, the way a foundation settles into the earth after the first rains, the sound a doorway makes when the lintel is placed correctly and everything above it finds its rest. Stone does not flex. Stone does not groan. Stone does not smell of pitch and bilge water and the particular rot that lives beneath a warship's lower gun deck after 3 weeks at sea. You have been on the Bucentaure for 31 days. The stone is in your left hand now. A piece of the shore at Essaouira, pale grey, smooth from the Atlantic, small enough to close your fist around completely. You picked it up the morning the transports came. You did not think about it. Your hand went down and your fingers found it, and when you straightened up, it was already in your pocket, and you did not put it back. That was Cadiz Harbour, the 14th of September, 31 days ago. You have held it so many times that the warmth of it no longer surprises you. The Atlantic is nothing like the sea you grew up watching from the walls of Essaouira. The sea at home was blue and cold and honest. It did the same thing every morning. It moved the same way. You could read it. This ocean does not care to be read. It is grey today, the colour of old iron, moving in long, slow swells that pick up the Bucentaure, 80 guns, 1,000 tons of oak and copper, and move her like she is nothing, like she is a leaf, like the weight of her does not count here, in this place, where the water goes down farther than a man can imagine. You keep the stone in your left hand when the swells come. You are posted on the upper gun deck with 42 other marine infantry. Moroccan auxiliaries, the French officers say, though 2 of the men beside you are Algerian and one, Youssef from Oran, has never seen Morocco in his life. It does not matter what they call you. You carry a Charleville musket, 1777 pattern, 17.5 inches of bayonet when fixed. You know how to use it. You were recruited at Cadiz from a garrison that had been waiting for orders for 8 months. The orders came. You did not ask where you were going. A sergeant does not always ask. There are 27 ships in the combined fleet. You counted them the first morning out of Cadiz. You have counted them every morning since. 27 ships. The British fleet has 33. You know this because Lieutenant Moreau told Sergeant Beaumont yesterday evening, and you were standing close enough to hear. 33 to 27. The numbers are not good. You put the stone in your left hand, and you did not say anything. The morning of the 21st begins with no wind. The sails hang. The fleet barely moves. You can see the British ships to the west. 2 columns, approaching slowly, almost silently, hull down in the grey morning light. They are not in a line. That is what you notice first. They are not in a line the way a fleet is supposed to fight. They are coming straight at you, bows on, like they mean to drive through. Lieutenant Moreau says something in French to the men around him. You catch the word colonne. Then he says something else, and his voice is not the voice he used yesterday when he was talking about the numbers. The stone is in your left hand. The Bucentaure is near the centre of the French line. Villeneuve's flag flies from her mainmast, the Admiral's pennant, red and white, snapping in the small wind that has finally begun to come from the northwest. The flagship, the centre of the thing, the place where decisions are made and where, you understand now without anyone saying it, the enemy's best ship will aim. You watch the British columns come on for 2 hours. This is the worst part, not what will happen. The waiting for what will happen. The men around you are quiet in the way men get quiet when they have run out of things to say and have not yet run out of time. Youssef is cleaning his bayonet with a piece of cloth, though it does not need cleaning. The man to your right, you do not know his name, only that he is from somewhere south of Fez, is looking at his hands. Another man is praying, lips moving, hands flat on his thighs. You look at the British ships. The lead ship of the windward column is HMS Victory, 100 guns. You cannot read the name from here, but you will learn it later, in the water, from a British sailor who pulls you out and says it like it explains everything. Victory, like that was the name it was always going to be. She comes on. She takes fire from the French line for nearly 40 minutes before she fires back. You watch the smoke from the French guns ahead of you roll across the water. You watch HMS Victory sail through it. She takes hits. Her rigging comes apart in pieces. Men fall from her yards into the sea and she does not stop. She does not slow. She comes on through everything the combined fleet can put into her, and she does not turn and she does not stop. And there is something in this that is more frightening than any number could be. The stone is very warm now. HMS Victory crosses the stern of the Bucentaure at approximately noon. What happens next takes less than 30 seconds. She fires one broadside through the Bucentaure's stern windows, through the galleries, through the captain's quarters, through the entire length of the gun deck, from back to front. The broadside contains 68-pound balls and 500 musket balls packed into the charge. It passes through 400 men. The sound is not a sound. It is a door opening in the world, a pressure that passes through your chest and your ears and the soles of your feet simultaneously. And for one moment, you cannot tell if you are still alive because your body has no information to give you, only this enormous blankness where the sound was. Then the smoke comes. Then the screaming starts. You are at the forward end of the upper deck, and the broadside has travelled the length of the ship below you. The gun deck beneath your feet is, you cannot think about what it is. You can only know it from the sounds coming up through the planking. The Bucentaure shudders. She is not the same ship she was 30 seconds ago. Something structural has changed, something deep in the way she sits in the water, and your feet feel it before your mind does. The stone is still in your left hand. You find your feet. You find the men around you. Some of them are down, not from the broadside, but from the concussion, from falling, from the shock of it. Youssef is on one knee. The man from south of Fez is against the rail, holding his head, not wounded, but not present either, somewhere in the space between what just happened and what comes next. More British ships are coming through now. The Neptune, the Leviathan, the Conqueror. They are filing through the gap that Victory made, turning their broadsides on the Bucentaure one after another, and each time the ship shakes in a different way, a new place giving, a new set of sounds from below decks. The French gunners who are still alive are firing back. The noise is total now. You cannot hear individual sounds. There is only the pressure, continuous, varying in intensity, but never stopping. And inside it, you move the way you were trained to move. You fire the Charleville at the men you can see on Victory's deck. You reload. Cartridge, ball, ramrod. Your hands know the sequence without your mind. Aim at the shapes through the smoke. Fire, reload. You have done this at garrison drill so many times that the motion is in your muscles before it is in your thoughts. And this is the mercy of it, that your hands have something to do while your mind is somewhere else entirely. Your mind is in Essaouira, the smell of your mother's bread, the particular blue of the doorway of the house on the hill above the harbour, the way your father's hands looked when he was working stone, the dust in the creases of his knuckles, the specific weight of the mallet, the sound the chisel made when it found the grain right. You are not deciding to think about this. It is simply there, running underneath the noise, the way a river runs underground even when you cannot see it. Reload, aim, fire. The Bucentaure is dying. You know this the way you know things that no one has told you, through the soles of your feet, through the change in the way the deck moves under you, through the way the officers are looking at each other now, and then looking away. She is lower in the water than she was an hour ago. The pumps are going. You can hear them, a rhythmic mechanical sound that is somehow the most frightening sound on the ship, because it means the water is already inside. The pumps are not keeping up. At some point, the French flag comes down. You do not see it happen. You hear a change in the firing, a diminishment, a hesitation, and then Lieutenant Moreau is shouting in French, and the meaning of it reaches you a few seconds later than the sound, the way a stone dropped into deep water takes a moment to send its ripples to the surface. It is over. The Bucentaure has struck her colours. She has surrendered. The British sailors begin to come aboard. You lower the Charleville. Your hands are black from the powder. Your ears are ringing in a way that is not ringing, that is a new kind of silence, a silence that has a shape and a weight and will be with you for days. The stone is in your left hand, and you close your fist around it, and you hold it. Villeneuve is brought out from below decks by two officers. You see him for the first time. A tall man, grey-faced, something finished about him. He is handed over to the British captain, and he goes without resistance. This is how it ends for admirals. Quietly, in the company of officers who treat each other with a formality that the dead below decks do not require. The Bucentaure is sinking. The British put a prize crew aboard, but the damage is too much. By mid-afternoon, it is clear that she will not be saved, and the British begin to move the prisoners off in boats. You go over the side into a longboat with 23 other men, some of them French sailors, some of them marine infantry, two of them so badly wounded that they have to be lifted. The water is grey and cold. The Atlantic swell picks up the longboat the same way it picked up the Bucentaure, without malice, without interest, as a simple fact of physics. You are a small thing in a large thing, and the large thing does not know you are there. A British sailor is rowing. He does not look at you. You do not look at him. There is nothing to say across the space between you that the day has not already said. You open your left hand. The stone from Essaouira is there, pale grey, smooth, warm from the inside of your fist, exactly the same as it was this morning when the sails were hanging and the British fleet was still hull down on the horizon, and you had not yet learned what 68-pound balls sound like when they pass through 400 men. The longboat moves across the grey water. Behind you, the Bucentaure settles. She does not go quickly. She goes the way large things go, slowly, with a kind of heaviness that is almost like dignity. The masts coming down last, the flag already gone, the hull finding its angle and holding it, and then the water taking the rest. You do not watch it happen. You know it is happening because the British sailor stops rowing for a moment and looks past you, and something passes across his face that is not satisfaction and not grief and not any emotion that has a name in the languages you know. Then he rows again. The stone is in your left hand. The shore is somewhere to the east, across water you cannot see the end of. Your father's stone is in your pocket, the one that has no shore. You hold what you have. The longboat moves. The grey Atlantic closes over the place where the Bucentaure was, and in 5 minutes there is no sign that she was ever there at all. And your name is not on any flag. And Nelson is dying on the deck of HMS Victory 800 yards to the north, and neither of you will know the other existed. The stone is smooth. The stone is warm. The stone is the only thing in the world right now that is exactly what it was this morning.